Hello there, and welcome to the basement. There's some massive shakeups going on behind the scenes at Marvel Studios, but before we get into that nitty gritty, why don't you go ahead, smash the like on this video, and subscribe, and fill up that notification bell so you know anytime I drop an informative video like this one, or go live with even more fun stuff to talk about. But with that out of the way, let's dive right in. This is coming from The Hollywood Reporter. This is from Boris Kitt, and he put this puppy out yesterday. Daredevil hits reset button as Marvel overhauls its TV business. Launched during the pandemic with a playbook to shoot $150 million plus seasons with no pilots, the Disney unit is undergoing growing pains and seeing the logic of traditional TV culture. It didn't take long to see the problem after Marvel Studios' Daredevil Born Again paused production in mid-June during the writer's strike. Fewer than half of the series' 18 episodes had been shot, but it was enough for Marvel executives, including Chief Kevin Feige, to review the footage and come away with a clear-eyed assessment. The show wasn't working. So in late September, Marvel quietly let go of head writers Chris Ord and Matt Corman, and also released the directors for the remainder of the season as part of a significant creative reboot of the series, The Hollywood Reporter has learned. The studio is now on the hunt for new writers and directors for the project, which stars Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, a blind lawyer turned superhero. Translated, Feige is getting in there and going, you know what, this fucking sucks, goodbye. The Daredevil revamp is the latest in a series of growing pains for Marvel Television. Since debuting the Emmy-winning WandaVision in January 2021, the studio, which dominated the film industry in the 2010s, has released more than 50 hours of TV programming after creating a small-screen division from the ground up during the pandemic. Through it all, the company eschewed the traditional TV making model. It didn't commission pilots, but instead shot entire $150 million plus seasons of TV on the fly. It didn't hire showrunners, but instead depended on film executives to run its series. And as Marvel does for its movies, it relied on post-production and reshoots to fix what wasn't working. Now, that's yes, does for its movies, yeah, that's all the good and the bad movies. That's how Marvel makes them. It's crazy. Even though they remain, along with Star Wars titles, the most watched shows on Disney+, what about Bluey? Marvel series have recently faced a number of creative challenges and cries of diminishing returns from critics and audience metrics, causing a major shift at the studio to move to make TV shows the more traditional way. We're trying to marry the Marvel culture with the traditional television culture, says Brad Winderbaum, Marvel's head of streaming, television, and animation. It comes down to, how can we tell stories in television that honor what's so great about the source material? With Daredevil's new direction, Marvel hopes to right the ship on a project with sky-high expectations. The show is Marvel's first to feature a hero who already had a successful series on Netflix running 3 seasons. That series was fucking awesome. But sources say that Corman and Ord crafted a legal procedural that did not resemble the next Netflix version known for its action and violence. Cox didn't even show up in costume until the 4th episode. Marvel, after greenlighting the concept, found itself needing to rethink the original intention of the show. Yeah, damn skippy they did. Marvel plans to keep some scenes and episodes, though other serialized elements will be injected, with Corman and Ord becoming executive producers on the 2-season series. Okay, why didn't you just completely get rid of them? Daredevil is must be a contractual thing. Daredevil is far from the first Marvel series to undergo drastic behind-the-scenes changes. Those who work with Marvel on the TV side have complained of a lack of central vision that has, according to sources, begun to afflict the studio's shows with creative differences in tension. TV is a writer-driven medium, says one insider familiar with the process. Marvel is a Marvel-driven medium. Yeah, the prosecution presents Secret Invasion and rests. On the Oscar Isaac star Moon Knight, show creator and writer Jeremy Slater quit, and director Mohammed Diab took the reins. Jessica Gao developed and wrote She-Hulk Attorney at Law, but was sidelined once director Kat Coiro came on board. Production was challenging, with COVID hitting cast and crew, and Gao was brought back to oversee post-production, a typical showrunner duty, but it's the rare Marvel head writer who has such oversight. Or they could have just not did that show at all. Even though the company does not have a writer's first approach to TV, directors could feel shortchanged as well. The whole fix-it-and-post attitude makes it feel like a director doesn't matter sometimes, says one person familiar with the process. I mean, yeah, I can totally understand that. As its shows ramped up during the pandemic, Marvel stepped outside its usual staffing approach and brought in outside execs after years of internally promoting creatives who had been sufficiently trained in the Marvel method. This change was felt most severely on Secret Invasion, the Samuel L. Jackson-led thriller that stands as Marvel's worst reviewed series. That show did so much damage to Marvel. It's insane how much damage that show did. Kyle Bradstreet, a writer and executive producer on USA Network Emmy winner Mr. Robot, had been working on the scripts for Secret Invasion for about a year when he was abruptly replaced after Marvel decided on a different direction. Well, that's where they fucked up. Enter new writer Brian Tucker, who penned the crime thriller Broken City. Thomas Bezucha, who helmed the thriller Let Him Go, and Ali Salim, who worked on Hulu's 9/11 drama The Looming Tower, were on board as directors and to help crack the story. They failed. So far as so normal, at least by Marvel's creative development standards. Details are murky, but what happened next in the summer of 2022 debilitated the production as factions became entrenched and leaders vied for supremacy during Secret Invasion's pre-production in London. It was weeks of people not getting along, and it erupted, says an insider. Marvel declined to directly comment on the matter. Duh. The company dispatched Jonathan Schwartz, a senior executive and member of Marvel's creative steering committee known as the Parliament, to get Secret Invasion back on track when it was falling behind schedule and on the verge of losing some actors because of other commitments. By early September, a good portion of the Invasion team had been replaced with new line producers, unit production managers, and assistant directors. And Bezucha, who was supposed to direct 3 episodes, left the show because of new scheduling conflicts. The Marvel executive overseeing the show, Chris Gary, was reassigned and, according to sources, is expected to depart Marvel when his contract is up at the end of the year. Well, after that show, I'm not surprised. As it moves forward, Marvel is making concrete changes in how it makes TV. Good deal. It now has plans to hire showrunners. Giles' post-production work on She-Hulk helped Marvel see that it would be helpful for its shows to have a creative through line from start to finish. No shit. It's a term we've not only grown comfortable with, but also learned to embrace, says Winterbaum of showrunners and Marvel's intention to hire them. The studio also plans on having full-time TV execs rather than having executives straddle both television and film. We need executives that are dedicated to this medium, that are going to focus on streaming, focus on television, says Winterbaum, because they are 2 different forms. Yeah. It is also revamping its development process. Showrunners will write pilots and show Bibles. The days of Marvel shooting an entire series from She-Hulk to Secret Invasion, then looking at what's working and what's not, are done. And just as Loki, which returned October 5th, marked Marvel's first season 2 of the series, out of 9 shows to date, the studio plans on leaning into the idea of multi-season serialized TV, stepping away from the limited series format that has defined it. Marvel wants to create shows that run several seasons, where characters can take time to develop relationships with the audience rather than feeling as if they are there for a setup as a big crossover event. They should be both, not rather than, but that's just me. Some of its next shows, in fact, promise to be more personal stories. Echo, which premieres in January and should be canceled, is a grounded crime story with few visual effects resolving around deaf Native American anti-hero Maya Lopez, played by Alaqua Cox. Wonder Man, another waste of time, a show that was paused because of the writers and actor strikes, is meant to be a behind-the-scenes look at Hollywood and a character study of Simon Williams, played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, a superhero who has a side gig as an actor and stunt person. Wonderbaum says he wants people to watch the shows because they love the characters. It should work, he says, beyond the fact that it ties into other projects, or if they are going to be a movie, or if it's setting up an Avengers film. And that is the story from The Hollywood Reporter. Now, what does this all mean? First of all, I'm pretty sure it means improvement for the Disney Plus shows, starting with Daredevil. Thank God, because as we all know, for the most part, Disney Plus shows, be they Marvel or be they Lucasfilm, have for the most part, not completely, but for the most part, been mid to crap. So them hiring dedicated executives to this, good thing. Them hiring actual showrunners who formulate the story completely and then go into the writer's room to help them hash out the details, awesome. Basically, they're going to do actual TV properly instead of making a long movie and then chopping it up into however many episodes they need and tossing in a little filler just to fix it all. Now, what does this mean for Marvel overall? Well, I think a dramatic improvement in Disney Plus will also equate to a dramatic improvement in how the brand itself is perceived. If they can get the TV thing going correctly and hopefully streamline what they have coming out a bit, because they have some shows that really have, while they fill the character part that Mr. Windbaum was talking about, overdoing it in that and losing the overall connectivity to the overarching story, which you don't want people to forget. Otherwise, they're going to be like, oh, what's all this crap on my TV and coming to my movie screen? I don't understand what's happening here. You still need the connectivity, but something better written, more character driven also is a beautiful thing. So, basically, we now have more evidence that Feige is making actual, real changes behind the scenes, and that we actually have quality Marvel content on both the small and big screens to look forward to. Thank you, God. Because let's face it, it's been painful. I mean, Loki seems to be going well. So far, it's only been one episode, but it was a damn strong episode and gives me a lot of hope for the rest of the season. Side note, this is October 12th right now, and Loki's second season comes on tonight, and after that, I'll be having a live reaction at about 10:15 p.m. Tonight, if you're watching this on the 12th, or, just watch it on the replay. So, big changes coming behind the scenes at Marvel, and they are good big changes. They will help the quality, they will help our eyeballs, they will help everything. So, with that being said, please go ahead and hit a like on this video, and go ahead and subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you know anytime I drop some newsy content like this or some theory content like I have in other videos. Check out my Anakin is the Father video. He's fulfilled his destiny. What's on there if you want some Star Wars theories. Eventually I'll have some Marvel theories coming too, and also fun lives like tonight's live reaction. And I go live every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm always in the Eastern Time zone because I live in Michigan. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the changes coming to Marvel. Are they good? Are they bad? Do they give you hope? Do you not care? Do you think it's too late? Let me know in the comments down below. And like I always say, there's always a good time to be had when you're chilling in the basement.